Nico Harrison. We're mad about the kids need Luca. The kids would like to have Luca more than this court.
Let's bring up Mayor Eric Johnson.
Hey, Mayor Johnson, we want to fire Nico. We don't want this free court. We want Nico fired. Just say we want to fire. Look, everybody's mad. We don't like Nico Harrison. We're mad about the kids need Luca. The kids would like to have Luca more than this court. Okay, well, just say fire Nico. We say fire Nico? See, this is the thing is we have cowards as leaders. He knows that Nico Harrison's trying to make the team lose on purpose. It's ridiculous. It's a park. Yeah. Well, no, I'm not, because I care about the Mavericks. If you cared about the Mavericks, you would try to get Nico Harrison fired. The guy stinks. Get off me. Quit touching me. Don't touch me. Literally, stop touching me.
This is the part. Okay, we're doing this for the kids.
Yeah, I understand, but we don't want people. Okay. Well, I'm at a park. Well, come on. Oh, you're kicking me out of the park? Well, okay. So ridiculous.
My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself why would I make time for you lames? At all costs, cause I'm a boss. But break them off, yeah, gotta break them off.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Prime Time with Alex Stein. I'm your host, Alejandro Stein, and we got a great show in store for you this evening. That's right, it's going to be action-packed. We have Father Calvin Robinson about to come on, but before we get to the Father, I want to welcome on local Dallas comedian. He is in the final round for the Dallas Roast Battle Championships. Let's welcome on the one, the only, Q Rose. But Q, guys, once again, Q, you have to get mad at Jimmy because when you sit on that couch, Jimmy, you know you can't even see Q. Go to the other shot. Look at that. You can. He just blends in the background, Jimmy. Like, I feel like our set could be considered racist, Jimmy. Do you feel that way, Q?
You look like an autistic superhero.
I am a little bit.
What the fuck you talking about?
Well, I'm saying I don't like how you blend in. I feel like we're being rude to African American guests. You know what I mean? I want to make I don't want a segregated set for whites only. I want a set that includes African Americans, Filipinos.
Something about your hairline looks segregated to going up here.
It's a little segregated. It's a little segregated. But okay, did you not like that clip? Because you were just saying it's not Nico Harrison's fault. So I want to have a quick debate. What do you mean it's not Nico Harrison's fault? He's the one that signed away Luka Doncic for peanuts for Anthony Day-to-Day Davis.
Well, they don't give people that, like me, people you can't see on the couch that much power.
Oh, okay.
That's definitely an owner-operated situation. I thought they was trying to tank so they can bring the Vegas people in.
The Adelsons. And they're from the great country of Israel, our favorite country on this program. And, you love that country. They're very important.
All I know is I know a lot. I got people in my family are politicians, but I am not pro-casino. I don't need it here.
Amen. And I agree. And listen, I've actually recently had to kind of quit gambling because, this is the thing. Sometimes you go on winning streaks, but you're more than likely going to be on a long losing streak. So I do not encourage people to gamble. But with all that being said, let's get on our guest. Guys, he's a viral sensation. He's not only a priest, but he is also a TV sensation. He's been on, he hosts a show on the Lotus Eaters. You've seen him on GB News. You've seen him all over. He's a viral sensation. Let's welcome on the one, the only Father Calvin Robinson. Father, how are you doing this evening?
I'm very well, Alex. How are you?
Thank you so much for joining us. And I don't know if you know my guest this evening. This is Q Rose. He's one of the top battle roasters in Dallas, Texas, Calvin. So I'd like to, and this is Calvin Robinson, one of the holiest men to ever bless us on this program.
How you doing, Father?
Very good to meet you.
Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. What's happening?
Just don't roast me tonight, Q.
No roasting, no roasting. But speaking,
no roasting until you die.
Okay.
Go to hell.
Hopefully we don't go there.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, we all want to go to heaven, but. Speaking of fire and roasting, they said that this Israel-Palestine war is over. What do you think about that?
This war will never be over. It's impossible. It's the biggest problem facing the world right now in that there's a war in this tiny section of the Middle East and all of the West seems to have a vested interest in it. Obviously we all heard about the ceasefire. Most of us celebrated the fact that the killing would end, but it didn't even end then. Since October the 10th, we've had multiple drone strikes from Israel, violations of the ceasefire, but there's no accountability. There are no consequences. I find it very, very strange that they're able to get away with whatever they want. Whereas the other side, and of course, don't get me wrong, Hamas is evil, Hamas is wrong, is bad, but two wrongs do not make a right.
No, I think that is a very good, articulate point to make, is that two wrongs don't make a right. And when it comes to this Israel-Palestine conflict, and you see that it's a ceasefire, but then you also see, and it's hard to tell what's real and what's fake, but that aid is not getting into Gaza right now. Allegedly there's a ceasefire, and right now you're hearing, maybe those are Palestinians, maybe it's Hamas with their great marketing campaign that they try to buy, Israel try to say, but allegedly the food has not started going into Gaza. So what do you think that's all about? If it's a ceasefire, why can't they have bread and milk and water or whatever they need to eat?
That should be our priority. That should be it. If any country in the West is going to have an interest in the Middle East, our priority should be humanitarian aid. And the fact that Israel is blocking humanitarian aid, that should be a problem for all of us, because people need to eat. And yes, again, Hamas are evil, but not all Palestinians are part of Hamas. There are ordinary women and children in that area of the Middle East that are starving to death because of a large regime that has all the money and all the weapons in the world. It's inhumane. But that's what it all comes down to, in that Israel for so long has been painting everyone that lives in Gaza as less than human, that they're able to now do whatever they like to them without it affecting their consequences. And that's bad. That's exactly what we see here in the West with the left. They look at us on the right and call us Nazis, fascists, whatever they like, in order to dehumanize us so that essentially they can kill us, like what they did with Charlie Kirk. And they can feel no shame about it whatsoever, because who wouldn't want to kill the most evil person in the world, right? And that's how they see us.
No, you're exactly right. And they look at these Palestinians as if they're not humans. And I think that's like the problem in all this, is that obviously Palestinians are humans, even if they are Hamas, this and that's, like, we lose that instinct that at the end of the day, we're humans that are going through the same struggles that we're going through, and we look at them differently. We look at them as enemies, and then they say that, oh, well, we don't mind if we take out children because those children are going to be future Hamas soldiers. And it's like, well, yeah, if you killed my dad, I might join Hamas too. You know what I mean? So, they're kind of only enabling the hate and not actually trying to stop it. So that's where I come to with all this. And this is one thing that I think is very rich. And this is a serious critique that I would say to any Jewish person. For the past 3 years, or since October 7th, 2 years, however long it's been, 2 years, I believe. Is it 2 or 3, Calvin? I don't even know math. Has it been 2 or 3?
This has been going on since 1948.
Well, I know, but I'm talking about it since October 7th. It was October 7th,
right.
3 years ago? Okay, 2 years ago. They've not shut the hell up about these hostages, and they just got 20 more hostages, and that's great. But when you really look at it, Israel has 1,600 Palestinian hostages and hundreds of children as hostages, and you never hear that side of the story. You never hear a Palestinian going on the internet, free our hostages, free our hostages. And it seems like a lot more hostages are Palestinian than Israeli. So that's where they kind of win that marketing campaign. They market their hostages better than Hamas can market their own hostages, if that makes sense, Calvin.
It's a fair point. That you don't have special necklaces to wear for the Palestinian hostages, do you? But all hostages is wrong. They should have all been released, absolutely, whether they were Israeli or Gazan. It doesn't matter. But the fact is, we've reached a point now, especially here in America, that you can't even say that. You and I are going to get so much heat tonight from just having this conversation. Criticizing the state of Israel's government in any way, shape, or form is a form of blasphemy now. It's absurd to me.
No, it really is. We've gotten hypersensitive. Q, what do you think about that? Do you feel, as a guy that's not super political, even though you have political family members, this and that, what do you think about the third rail topic of Israel being something that you can't talk about in common, polite society?
I think it's un-American to not be able to voice your opinion. Also, I think it's un-American, the celebration of death, torture, or suffering in any way, form, or fashion. This country was built on the ideas that once we got to a better place, we were going to help other people. So when other people are struggling, no matter if our enemy, we're not supposed to be happy about children suffering, children dying. That's just un-American, man.
I agree. Well, Calvin, okay, I want to ask you, and you're all right, we might get a little heat, but I don't think we've been I don't even think we've been super critical. I think we're just calling balls and strikes and calling it like we see it. Now, I just want to stay on this topic before we move on. What do you actually kind of speculate, and I know you don't know this because nobody knows this, and you talk about this war starting since 1948, since they started occupying that territory. What do you kind of foresee in the near future with this ceasefire? Do you think that Israel's going to kind of lose the PR campaign and still not follow it? Or do you think Israel's realized, hey, we're losing this war on TikTok, Twitter, maybe we should play ball and at least try to placate the masses that we're trying to do better as a country? Like, do you think we're going to actually see some change in the near future?
I don't know. I think Israel have won the PR campaign in terms of the boomers. There are very few boomers who are against the state of Israel.
But all the kids, Calvin, I go to all these colleges, I had to cut you off, and I hear that argument. All of Generation Z is like 9/11 was done by Israel. And that's just what they say. They literally come up to me and say that to me every day. I mean, I'm just stating a fact. So
they're Googling, well, they're not Googling, they're using AI to ask about dancing Israelis. Like all the information is out there. And so Generation Z, or as you call them, Gen Z, they're awake. So Israel may have lost that battle, but it doesn't matter because they have the boomers. And so while all of your US politicians are sending money over to Israel, I think it's what, 33 billion in the last couple of years, which is, to me, that you could have just bought Israel at that point. While they're still doing that, Israel will continue through AIPAC and other American firms and organizations to give money back to the American politicians. And it's like a big money laundering scheme, isn't it? US taxpayer money goes to Israel, and then some of that money finds its way back into the hands of US politicians who blindly are obedient to Israel. It needs to stop. They need to cut that money trail. AIPAC needs to be registered as a foreign interest lobby group. And actually, all of the politicians who are Israel first need to be held accountable because they should be America first. This is America, for goodness sake.
No, I agree with you 100%. AIPAC should register as a foreign lobby. But this is one thing, and I see, and I want to ask you another kind of conspiratorial question, but this is different. How much of it is, and I know we're giving $33 billion, but then they use that money to go buy, weapons from America, so they say that this actually benefits America. How much, though, does America actually have to blame? Is it possible, like I say this analogy, is America, is Israel the tail that's wagging the dog, us, America? Or is it really America's the dog and we're wagging the tail of Israel and using that as an excuse to try to, blow up more stuff? Because really, America benefits from war more than any other country. Our military-industrial complex loves never-ending war. So when you look at it from a business sense, the idea that we're giving weapons to both sides of this conflict, which is true, we're giving weapons to literally both sides, why would they ever want that to stop? Because they make money from a never-ending war in the Middle East. So doesn't America take some sort of blame in this whole, boondoggle?
There's two sides to this. So on the money side of things, I think the whole of Israel's budgetary financial budget for the military was about 20-something billion before this so-called war. And now America has given Israel over 33 billion, which means they've given Israel more than they usually spend on their military. So yes, people are making money through the military industrial complex. I don't think it's all down to that. I think a lot of it is actually spiritual. I think people through, Darby and the Schofield Bible, people have been convinced into a heresy that bless Israel, you will be blessed, curse Israel, you'll be cursed. This is not scriptural, it's not Christian, but a lot of the boomer generation have been convinced that they must do whatever the state of Israel does, because the state of Israel uses a name that part of that world used 2,000 years ago, and they think the two things are the same. So they read the word Israel in the Bible, and they see Israel on the map, they're like, oh, so that must be Israel. Of course, forgetting that my country gave them that land pretty much in 1948 to set it up. They could have chosen any name. They could have chosen the name America, wouldn't make them America. And so the Israel of the Bible is not the state of Israel. In fact, people who are watching this who aren't aware of that should know that the Israel of the Bible is the church. The Jews who followed Jesus, followed their Messiah, continued down that lineage, and the Gentiles, us who weren't Jews, were grafted in, and together those people are now called Christians. That is the church, that is the spiritual Israel, that is the new Israel. It's not a replacement, it's a continuation. But the current Jews, the modern Jews, the Talmudic Jews, are an entirely new religion or ideology that was a reaction actually to Christianity. And so the Jews aren't the Jews of the Bible, and Israel isn't the Israel of the Bible, but boomers seem to believe it is, and that's why they're convinced to give all their money and arms over to Israel.
Well, and I want you to elaborate on the Schofield Bible and how that has been used to kind of manipulate older people into giving this undying support to Israel. But before we talk about that, you made such a good point. After 1948, it was the UK that basically, decided to call Palestine and give it to the Israelis to, occupy Palestine. But really, the people that occupied it were European Jews from Germany and Europe. So those are a European Jew from Germany is going to be much different than a Jewish person born in the Middle East and, Palestine. So it is kind of crazy when you're sitting a bunch of really, if we're going to be real, Europeans to the Middle East to take over and occupy somebody else's home. That maybe they weren't a state, maybe they didn't have a currency, that's their argument, but there were people living there that had houses that were calling it home and made them get the hell up and move away. So I mean, it's a pretty bad
That's an important
situation.
point. And people often say, well, it's the Gazans or it's the Palestinians. But actually, the people who were around that area, the first Christians spoke Aramaic. Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ spoke Aramaic. There's still a small cohort of people in that region that speak Aramaic, the Aramaean Christians, but they've been forgotten about. So you've got the people shouting free Hamas or what, free Palestine, whatever, and you've got the people saying, you know, we must bless Israel. But somewhere in between, there's a whole group of people that have been there for over 2,000 years, and they are the Christians. They, of course, at the time of the Bible, they were Jews and they followed the Messiah, and now they're Aramaean Christians. Even the state of Israel doesn't recognize them. They just call them Arab Christians. They're not Arabs. You know, they may be of a similar genetic background to the Arabs, but the Arabs came later, and the Arabs took over Israel, well, before we gave it back to the modern day Jews. And so this area has been occupied by Christians, Arabs, and Jews over the years, but actually the Christians were there the whole time, and they've been displaced, and no one seems to care about them.
Nobody does care. And then last thing on this topic, actually two more questions. I want you to elaborate. The Schofield Bible was, I think it was funded by the Rothschilds or the Rockefeller, I forget, you know, which super wealthy family funded this book. But the Schofield, this version of the Bible, there's such an important passage that states that if, you know, you do not support Israel, that's, you know, you're basically going to go to hell. It's kind of, how is the Schofield Bible able to manipulate so many elderly people into still believing that they are anti-God or anti-Christian or Jesus if they don't support Israel? How are they able to do that psyop?
So it came about through the Plymouth Brethren in the United Kingdom. A man named Jonathan Darby came up with this new theology that he didn't want to twist, but he did twist the words of the Bible. And Schofield spread that around. In America, it was taught in schools. And I think, you know, again, I'm going to take a lot of flack for this, but I think it's down to Protestantism, because people were moving away from the Catholic faith and looking everywhere for teaching. And then here was this, looked like a clear teaching. And in the footnotes, it was all a twisting of the scriptures. And actually, you know, if you saw the interview between Ted Cruz and Tucker Carlson, this was one of the issues they brought up. And Ted's like, well, the Bible says, bless Israel, you'll be blessed. But if you look at Genesis, the Bible says, bless Abraham and his seed. And then if you fast forward to the New Testament, which of course Christians need to look at the Bible holistically, not just take the old, but we look at the old through the new. But in the New Testament, we learn that actually the seed of Abraham is those with faith in Christ. And so it's no longer a genetic lineage. It's no longer people who were born in Judea or born from Israel, the Israelites at the time of the Bible. Actually, people who are Abraham's seed are those who have faith in Christ. And therefore, the chosen people of God in the Old Testament were, of course, the Israelites, but then some of them rejected Christ, some of them didn't. So the ones that didn't reject him, the ones that embraced Christ, they are God's chosen people, along with the Gentiles that were grafted in. And this is the truth of the matter, in that everyone can be a child of God, an adopted child of God, through embracing Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. And that's the truth they want to hide. I heard Benjamin Netanyahu saying this the other day, spreading Christian heresy. The man's not even Christian, but he's willing to spread this heresy because it benefits him and it benefits his government, it benefits his state. And actually, it's quite demonic.
No, it is demonic. And that's one thing Adam King, and I didn't realize that, according to Israelis or Jewish people, that the Roman Catholic Church is a bigger threat to their religion than Islam, which is, you know, and that makes actually, if you really look into it, it does make sense, because it was the Romans that excommunicated the Jews. So really, it kind of goes, you know, it goes even way further back than the Israel-Palestine conflict. So I can see why that is I can see why there's so much heat between those two people. Now, we've talked a lot about Israel. We've you know, I feel like if people have not come to their own decision based on the facts, that not enough evidence can convince an idiot. So I really hope people will kind of just do their own research. Everything that we said, we're not trying to be, you know, disrespectful to Jewish people or the state of Israel. We're just trying to say hard facts that I think people need to hear. Now, I want to talk a little bit about spirituality, because I want to get my man Q Rose back in here. Now, you decided to give yourself to God, which is the most selfless thing you can do, and we really appreciate that, and I mean that. But in society, we're getting more and more non-religious, and this is why I think the problem. And Q, I want you to answer this before we get the Father's great answer. I think one of the biggest problems in society is we have a calculated effort by the people that are in charge to hide the existence of God. They want every single person and every kid that goes into a classroom to learn about the Big Bang Theory and learn that they evolved from pond scum that got struck by lightning and primordial soup, and all of a sudden we're able to spawn Michael Jordan and, Hakeem Olajuwon out of the mud. And you know how they say that it happened? Literally, the formula was just time. They don't give us any other inputs on how everything came to be other than it took a really long time. So I think that's wrong with society, is that we tell young people that there is no God. Now, Q, I don't know how religious you are, but what do you think? How much of an effect do you think that has on society, especially you as a black man? I bet you probably grew up around religious people, I'm guessing.
I don't know, you gotta throw the black thing in there, but...
Well, black people are more religious. In Texas, black people are religious. Okay, well,
it's
sorry.
the Bible Belt,
because
whatever.
you're colored, that's why. No, seriously. Yeah. Just saying you're a black dude. I know your grandmother went to church. You're
Whatever,
a black dude
you
from
and your
Texas.
45-minute church service, you don't want to hear it. But but honestly, I think religion is besides the point a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Organized religion.
Well, I think when you're the thing is, there's no alternative morality for children to follow. If you tell children that God doesn't exist, what are you replacing that in the moral form? As a youth, the reason why I didn't steal, kill, whatever, I went to church, I learned these.
So you did go to church, so I was right. So my assumptions were 100% right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
Racism works some of the time.
It does. It usually works about 100% of the
Generalizations
time.
are general for a reason,
Yeah,
right?
stereotypes are about 100% of the time. And the Q showed up 45 minutes late, CPT time, but no offense, we don't care. But go ahead, sorry.
That's okay. So we ain't gonna talk about.
No, we don't need to get into that. Oh my God.
You see what we talking about religion. You want to talk about race, all right? Nah, but honestly, that's what it comes down to. For me, I'm not. We don't know what's. We ain't dead yet. Mm-hmm. These are all assumptions. But let's assume that for a second that God isn't real.
Okay.
What's the point? So what morality? What lessons? How do we get everyone in the collective agreement to do the right thing?
It's hard.
So if we don't have God, what are we doing? It's just laws. So it's just basically a set of rules where if you don't get caught, that's not wrong.
That's exactly what it is.
Because God is more so a situation where whether you got caught by people or not, there's still either a heaven or a hell, or in some other religions, you're reincarnated into some other better being or some other worse being. All religions fundamentally have the same thing. Do good things will happen to you beyond this world. If you don't have that, then all it's gonna do is, this right here is all you worried about. So people aren't worried about the other side of things, on the other side. So with that, people just being more and more selfish, they're being less and less, helpful to people. Mm-hmm. And that's what you get in a godless, lawless, Babylonian type society.
I agree. What do you think, Calvin?
Preach, Q, preach.
Yeah.
I mean, you're spot on. It's about having a moral compass, and people out there watching right now will be like, I have a moral compass, but I'm an atheist. Yes, but if you're in the West, you probably got your moral compass from Christianity, because it's the culture that we've grown up in and around. And the fact of the matter is, without a moral compass, we live in hell. We make hell on earth. And part of Q's point, I think, is about accountability. And I think it's more important for our leaders than it is for us. We want leaders who are Christians, because we want to know that they believe they are accountable to a form or person greater than themselves. Because if they're not, again, it comes down to selfish attitudes, and they'll do it within the short-termism of politics. They'll do whatever meets their own needs and those of the people around them. Whereas if we have, the late Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II of England, who believed that she was accountable to Jesus Christ, to God, essentially, then when you are putting forward policies, or when you're speaking publicly, or when you're leading a nation, you're doing so because you know that you're lent that power by Jesus, and you're going to have to give that power up when you die, and he's going to hold you accountable on Judgment Day. And if you're afraid of God, if you have that fear of God, you don't have the fear of the world. And if you have the fear of the world, you bend over to whatever whims are thrown your way, whether it's money, influence, power. If you're afraid of God, then those things don't actually matter, because Judgment Day means, did you do right by him and his moral compass, or did you do right by yourself and your own selfish moral compass? And that's important.
Yeah, and I think what's really important about Christianity is it preaches egalitarianism. It preaches, being modest, and I think that is really what we need in life, is more modesty. It's not that we shouldn't have nice stuff, but in this modern era, we just put so much of our self-value into inanimate objects, And
it's
that is
empty.
that's like one of the worst personality traits I think we can have, and there's a lot of bad personality traits. Now, let me ask you real quick. We only have you for a few more minutes. This new pope from Chicago, what's that all about? I mean, is that a good thing that we got a Chicago pope? Because I'm an American, so I'm America all the way. I'm like, God bless the U.S. of A. I like that as an American, but I mean, from Chicago, I'm kind of worried. So, I guess make me feel better about the current Chicago pope, if you can, Calvin.
It's Bob from Chicago. How cool is that? America has such a massive influence on the world right now that even the Pope is American. I think that's a great thing. That's a great sign. Because when I look around the West, we used to call it Christendom. I think we should get back to calling it Christendom. We look around Christendom, what do we see? My country's fallen, United Kingdom, just gone down the waypan. France, Italy, Spain, Germany, they're all falling apart due to mass migration, high crime levels. And then I look at America. America's the only country that's thriving, the only country that has a belief in liberty, in freedoms. That First Amendment grants a lot of those, but the Second Amendment, of course, backs them up. And so America has managed to hold on. Of course, it's a very new country, so we don't know how long it's going to do it, but it's managed to hold on to those fundamental beliefs that sparked the whole of Christendom. And so I think it's great that America is able to say, look, we're having so much influence now that even the Pope is American, because if he is, then he understands us. And if he understands us, he can speak to us. And we need a Christian leader in the world right now to be a light, to ward off some of the darkness. And there is so much darkness. We are living through the most evil time in human history, and I will die on that hill.
No.
Because
Well, Calvin, I want to cut you off. We are go ahead, but we are living in the most evil time. But go ahead, and I want to make you finish your point.
And I'll tell you why, because women are killing more human beings through abortion than men have ever killed in every war, famine, pestilence, plague combined. And this is only since the 1970s when it was decriminalized. So we're living through the greatest genocide in human history. We're killing off the unborn child, the most vulnerable person in society. It's dark, it's heavy, and most people happen to be in favor of it. That's why it's the darkest period in human history.
It really is dark. We're getting so much more technologically advanced, but we're becoming so desensitized to one another. So it's just like the inversion is just getting darker and darker. But let's go back to a little recent darkness. You're in the UK. The biggest story, and it's sometimes it dies, sometimes it comes back, is these Epstein files. And I'm really upset with the Trump administration why they've kind of placated us so far with this whole thing. But one important person that was very tight with Jeffrey Epstein was a guy by the name of Prince Andrew. Obviously, you know him, the Queen's son, her favorite son, allegedly. And I think that story is a very big story, but a story that doesn't get talked about enough when we talk about Prince Andrew or we talk about Jeffrey Epstein is we don't talk enough about Jimmy Savile, and we don't talk about how he was best friends with Prince Charles, how he was knighted by the Queen, and he was one of the most prolific child molesters, pedophiles ever in existence of the world. And so everybody has heard of Jeffrey Epstein, which I guess in a way is good because I guess we know about it. But why hasn't Jimmy gotten that same sort of notoriety after his death, considering all of the horrible and terrible things he did?
He did. He got that notoriety back home, and he's a wicked man who did wicked things. But actually, this is still going on in the United Kingdom. We have so many children being sexually abused and raped and groomed every single day. And we have this massive problem, much bigger than Jeffrey Epstein or Jimmy Savile, and it's called the Pakistani Muslim rape gangs. Because Pakistanis make up 5% of the demographics in the United Kingdom, but they make up 65% of the child sexual abuse. And so we have this whole demographic coming over into our country that has a culture that doesn't value young white Britons as humans. They see these little girls as less than, and they see them as there to be their sex toys. And they abuse them, they groom them, they rape them, sometimes they murder them. And the system is set up so badly that people don't want to address the problem because it would rock the boat of diversity, inclusion, and equity, which is the new god of the West, apparently. And so our local councils, our parliamentarians, our House of Lords, all of them are at some point complicit in covering up these, they call them grooming gangs, but they're not, the rape gangs. And I'm at the point now where I'm saying, it's not even good enough to address the problem. We need to do something serious. We need to say, look, we cannot afford to have any more Pakistani Muslims in our country. In fact, the ones who are there need to be repatriated. We need mass deportation for the sake of our young girls.
Yeah, I mean, if their culture is totally different, they don't value human life, and that is a serious issue where people are getting literally raped on the streets of the UK, and they're not even worried because when the Bobby comes by, they don't even have a gun. They're not even going to get shot when they caught raping somebody, and then they're probably going to get some sort of favorable treatment in the mass media in the UK.
Oh, it's worse than that. There have been instances where the fathers have tracked down their girls, their young girls who may be 12 years old at some point, sometimes younger, that the Pakistani Muslim groomers have, taken in, whether it's taxis or kebab shops, and they've taken these young girls back to their flats and kept them plied up with either alcohol or drugs and continue to gang rape these girls. And sometimes the fathers have tracked them down, gone round there, called the police, and the police have come and arrested the fathers, and or even worse than that, sometimes even arrested the girls for being drunk and indecent. And the Pakistani Muslim men get away with it because diversity, inclusion, equality. We can't be seen as to be racist to suggest that it's because of their culture. It is their culture. It's a wicked, evil culture. It's an evil ideology. It has no place in Christendom.
No, you're exactly right. Okay, now before you go, I want to ask you this question. I've been watching these videos, and Q, you feel free to chime in. And you're probably going to think it's crazy, but I've been watching all these videos about secret societies, and I've been watching those for years, but I've been getting recommended, you get stuff in your algorithm. And I started to watch this stupid video. Have you ever heard about, I'm sure you have, Gnosticism and about the monad and about how, there's a God above all of the other gods? Have you ever heard about anything like that, Calvin?
Yeah, I would say just avoid all of that stuff. It's dark.
Right?
I
know. No, it's very dark. It's very dark.
Yeah.
But you're just kind of watching. You're like, wow, this is interesting. But one thing that I did think was interesting, it was a person talking about Gnosticism through a Christian perspective. And this is why I just thought it. And this I want to ask you as a Catholic. It did make sense. But you know how people can always kind of reshape stuff and make it look in a different lens and make it look a different way. He said that the story, this is what they say, and when you get to the highest level of Freemasonry, Q, that they bring you in, and this is allegedly what they say. They say, well, God is real, but there's lots of gods, but there's one God. There's one God. That God is called the monad. Now, what the monad can do is he can make dyads. He can make couples, and that's all he can do. He can produce. He can do anything. He can breathe anything. But he's like a force. He's not like a person. But what he does is he makes these dyads, these other gods, these lesser gods, and these other gods that can only be made in two. So they need another person for them to procreate or to make other gods. So that's why the monad is special, because he can make a living being by himself. Nobody else. These other gods can't do it. They would need another god to make offspring. So what they say is in the Gnosticism, I don't believe this, but this is what they say, is that one of the dyads that the monad created decided that she was a monad and that she was like, I'm going to birth a child. And the person birthed a child by herself, but the child was unnatural. It didn't follow the natural laws of the monad. And I'm not saying I believe all this. So what that woman did is she had to cast out her son, because he was an evil monster, and had to cast him out to a realm or plane. Supposedly they say that cast him out into the clouds is how it was described. And this is what they say in Freemasonry. And I heard this from a Freemason guy talking about it. And that in the monad, when they created this demon child, and they put it on its own, astral plane or whatever, that God created us. And that is the original God from the Old Testament. And that Christ was sent from the monad, from the actual God. So Christ is the monad, that he is the monad's son, to warn us that the current God is a false God. And I'm not saying that's right, but if you do look at the God of the Old Testament, he does kind of have a character arc. He does change a little bit, right, Calvin? So is that just a crazy conspiracy theory? It sounds fun to listen to.
It is. God is unchanging. But the problem is these kind of ideologies, they take a bit of the truth and they twist them. And this is how the devil works. The devil never outright lies. He takes enough of the truth and wraps it in a lie so that you'll believe it. It's the same with Joseph Smith and the Mormons. It's the same with Muhammad and the Mohammedans. And it's the same with the Freemasons. There's enough of it in there that can convince you that there's some of it, and they grab you and they hook you in. Same with the Scientologists as well. All of it is wicked.
Well, I am a Scientologist. Just to be fair, I did join about 6 years ago. I'm a high-level Scientologist, and I love Tom Cruise. So please don't speak ill of them. We're a great organization, and we do a lot more than the Catholic Church. But we're not going to get into it. Okay, last thing I want to watch with you go before you go, Calvin. We have to watch this. I've been saving it for the very end. You love music. I love music. Q loves music. One of my favorite songs of all time is a song called Sweet Home Alabama. Not because I'm a racist. It's just a good song, and it does have racial undertones in it, of course.
Does it?
But yeah, it does. I think. What does it say? Jimmy? Look it up. There's one part where he says something.
It just says that Alabama is sweet. That's pretty
whatever.
racist.
I love that song.
It's a great song, but I do think that there's some sort of racial undertones, or maybe they had a different song. It was Leonard Skinner that sung it, but regardless, Leonard Skinner.
I've seen them do it live. It's fantastic.
They're great, but there's a better version, a new remix version that is just way better, a million times better. It's my favorite. I'm not even kidding. It's my favorite cover I've ever heard. So let's hear. What is it technically called now, Jimmy?
Sweet Home Jerusalem?
No, I don't
stop
think
it.
it's Sweet Home Jerusalem. I think it's Sweet Home Yeshuva or something. But let's just play it. It's such a great video.
Torah scrolls keep on turning. Just 2 days and we are through. Then we start
make him
from
stop.
the beginning.
Wait, let's see. Wait, is he about to say Sweet Home?
Hashem's holy words begin anew. We all have come to help Hatzalah. And we want to help.
Look at Mike Huckabee shredding on the guitar.
The man is a traitor.
Dude, no, he's not, dude. He's a hero right now, man. This is what
He's a
America's
heathen
all
and a
about.
traitor. He loves Israel more than America. It's shocking.
Well, if he's making music like this, let him. There you go. Sweet Home Yushalah. Sweet. I don't know all the words yet, so.
Even Mike looks bored.
He does look bored. He's like, what the hell am I doing? Like, is this really worth the
Is this
money?
worth the shekels?
He's playing that. He's like, is this worth $10 million? I don't know. I'm going to be dead in 10 years. I mean, how am I going to spend it? But,
I think it's worth the price of this song.
all right, that's enough of that. Is that disrespectful to Leonard Skinner? I think that's anti-Leonard Skinner, and I think
I
that's
think it's
a hate
disrespectful to everyone that listens to it. Oh my gosh.
You don't think they'll like that on Palestinian Spotify? You don't think that'll be big in Gaza on the Spotify most downloaded list?
He looks like he's about to get up and leave right now.
That one was really bad. Mike Huckabee, you have sold out. I do still like his daughter a little bit, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She seems like a real freaking.
I don't know what that was. That was the worst part of the show.
I know that's why we do that. All right, Calvin. Before you go, how can people find you and support you?
CalvinRobinson.com is my Substack. I'm on X, Facebook, Instagram. It's all just at Calvin Robinson.
Well, I guess before Calvin goes, right this second, because we can start the ritual and then maybe we can kick Calvin off, or he can just leave organically. Do we have the wall ready?
Yeah, let's get it up.
Let's get that up because I want to get Calvin's actually perspective, and I hope Calvin doesn't get canceled for this. So, Calvin, you might not know much about Q. You just met him, but he is an up-and-coming comedian, very funny guy. He's one of the top roasters in the area, in the state of Texas. Like literally, he's a very funny guy. I'm not just trying to gas him up, but one thing that he doesn't realize, and show both of us actually, okay, go and show just us right here for this shot. What he doesn't realize, Calvin, and Q, and I have to teach you, and I know you're a young man, and I don't like having to teach you this knowledge, but this is kind of like the Freemasonry knowledge. It's all intertwined. In order for Q to make it in Hollywood or show business, I'm offering him a cheat code. I'm offering him a get-rich-free scam. That's not a scam. Calvin, do you agree that if Q would decide today to dedicate his life to this beautiful wall right here, show the wall, that he could maybe one day get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame? Can you explain to him how important that would be for him to go to that wall and just give it his undying support?
If you kiss the magic wall, you get all the shekels, but you lose your soul. I recommend you keep your soul. There's one true living God, it's Jesus Christ.
Is that the wall that people get stoned next to?
Yeah, come here next to it. Come here. See this wall? No, just come touch the wall. So all you have to do.
Like, wait.
So
I'm not being part of no ritual.
Yes, you are.
Why do all of your leaders like
Do
to
you
kiss
want to
that
be
wall?
famous?
Not enough.
Q, if you want to be famous, you come up to the wall. Calvin, tell him because he needs
Don't do it,
reinforcement.
Q. Don't do it.
Q,
Don't
Calvin,
do
do I break the wall?
No, do not break the wall.
Break the wall.
Kiss the
Yeah,
wall.
just don't kiss it.
No, do not break
What
the
should I do,
wall.
Calvin?
Do not break the wall.
Break the wall.
Should I get it?
Don't break the wall.
Should I do
That
it?
wall was
the
promised
wall.
to Alex 2,000 years ago.
No, this wall, all you have to do is kiss this wall, and you'll have unlimited success.
I'm out of here, guys. God bless you. Jesus Christ is one true
Kiss the
living
wall,
God.
Calvin. Tell him you kiss the wall.
Father, pray for his
Please,
soul.
Father,
Pray
kiss
for
the
both of our
wall.
souls.
Join the dark side. We're rich. All right. You're not going to kiss it, Q?
I want no part of kissing this wall.
Okay, well, you're not going to make it in showbiz. All right, good for you. All right. Thank you, Father. Have a good one.
I at least know the exact time that I didn't make it.
Yeah, it's right here. So call Benjamin Netanyahu, Jimmy, and tell him that he didn't kiss the wall.
Got it.
All right. Thank you, Calvin. Thank you, Father.
Nathan kissed the wall, Q.
Nathan kissed the wall.
Nathan kissed the wall?
Yes.
Got me fucked.
Oh, look, show the camera, show the camera, show the wall, show the wall. Look at now, he's humping the wall. Look, he's humping the wall. See, that's how you win. You hump the wall. That's how we win, dude. You're gonna make it and show me. Hey, call Benjamin. Call Benny.
Why you didn't tell me Nathan kissed the fucking wall? That's what you should have started off with.
He basically had sex with the thing. Now call Benjamin Netanyahu and tell him that we got an African American signed up and that we need him to get instant success.
I will let him know, and he'll say not feasible. And
No,
email
he's going to say
again.
very feasible. They want the black ones. They don't have that many of them. Only the black Hebrew Israelites, and those are scary.
No, so you're not a black Hebrew Israelite fan?
Is anybody a black Hebrew Israelite fan? Wait, tell me, are you a black Hebrew Israelite?
No, no.
I like them, but they're always yelling at me. I mean, just saying, really and truly, I do believe them. I actually agree with them 100%. I think they're the real Jews, but neither here nor there. They're very aggressive on the street. Like, I agree with them.
Nah, they're super serious.
They're super serious. So I'm a tone police. I agree with their message. Their message couldn't be more spot on. But their tone can be a little abrasive. But that's, neither here nor there.
Have you ever tried trolling them?
A little.
You thought it was going to get a little out of hand?
Just they want to fight. And I should do it more because there's a guy on Instagram that's all he does now. He's a white guy that dresses like a black Hebrew Israelite. And now he's been trolling them so long in Austin. He's like, how everybody hangs out on 6th Street? There's a white guy that dresses like them, and he says all this stuff, lick my shoe or kiss my shoe. And now the black Hebrew Israelites let the white guy hang out with them. I'm not even kidding. Look it up. I got to find his profile. I wish I could pull it up, but it's on Instagram.
Publicity's publicity, man.
That's what I'm saying. So they're actually pretty cool. Most of them are probably pretty cool, but just they're yelling on the street, and it's kind of scary when I'm walking with my girlfriend, and a large African-American man is yelling at me and calling me a fake Jew.
Was that them, or are you?
No, that was them. I'm saying unprovoked, that unprovoked that they talk a lot of smack.
Are you a fake Jew?
Kind of, yeah. I mean,
all right,
I'm a Jew for Jesus, and that's why I respect Jesus. But yeah, my grandfather is Jewish, so everybody thinks I'm Jewish, but I'm really not a practicing Jew. But if it'll help me in Hollywood, I'll be as Jewish.
You'll kiss and hump the wall.
I will do anything to that wall. I will let the wall do anything to me. I will be totally submissive to that wall. Now, guys, if you're a homeowner, actually, maybe we shouldn't be talking about the wall and then go straight into home title lock. So,
well, homes have walls.
Oh, speaking of walls, guys, homes have walls. If you're a homeowner, you need to listen to this. In today's AI and cyber world, scammers are stealing home titles and your equity is the target. Here's how it works. Criminals forge your signature on one document, use a fake notary stamp, pay a small fee with your county, and boom, just like that, your home title has been transferred out of your name. Then they take out loans using your equity or even sell your property and you won't even know it until it's happened. Once you get that collection or foreclosure notice. So, when's the last time you checked on your home title? If your answer is never, you need to do something about it right now. That's why I've partnered with Home Title Lock, so you can find out today if you're already a victim. Use my promo code ALEX at HometitleLock.com, and you'll get a free title history report and a free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. That's 24/7 monitoring of your title, urgent alerts to any changes, and if fraud does happen, they'll spend up to $1 million to fix it. Go to HometitleLock.com and use the promo code ALEX. That's HometitleLock.com, promo code ALEX. Okay, Q, what's going on with you, dude?
Man, it's a lot of stuff, man. I'm still tripping on the deities. You was talking.
The monads?
Yeah, the monad.
It's interesting, isn't it?
It seems kind of a lazy thought process. I mean, at what point wasn't it just one God that created things that,
Well, that is kind of the starting point. I can see
that's
that.
the starting point of all religions. There's a God that creates, whether it's darkness and light or evil and good. That's the whole thing. That's what I'm saying. All religions are pretty much mostly the same. I choose Christianity just based off of my personal feeling, my personal belief. But to me, it's all kind of the same. Even now I'm listening to you. Even the guy Freemasons is really running the same gamut.
Yeah, they are. They're using a lot of brainwashing or trickery to confuse people. But when it comes down to it, it is a hard question because you're like, who's God's dad? Who created God? Did God create himself? And I think that's kind of like, that's just what I kind of speculate is maybe I guess God created himself, and I don't know how that's even possible, but we were created, something somewhere got created at some point, somewhere somebody pressed play on this whole play, you know what I mean? Somebody kicked the moon or stars into motion. I don't know what it is, but somewhere at some point things got started, and now the world's absolutely insane. Now, you have an intense roast battle against frequent guests of the show, Nate. Now, we love Nate Beeman.
Nathan Beeman, he's the greatest.
Beeman, excuse me, I call him Nate.
He's a funny guy. He went down to Austin, was it last week, and got the win for the Dallas Comedy Roast Battle League. So, we big fans of Nathan, but it's up to me to go ahead and dethrone him now while he's young before he turns into the monster we all know he's going to become.
He is, and you do need to dethrone him because he is getting a little bit of an ego, which is fine. I think you need a little bit of an ego if you're going to be a comedian and go on stage.
Yeah, and ego works well with him too. He's a likable guy, so
One thing though you said earlier though, it's very confusing how Nathan, I think he's a fake gay. I don't even think he's gay. I think he's doing it for DEI.
You think he's doing it just for the I don't know.
The same reason he kissed the wall to make it in Hollywood. You make it in Hollywood, but if you're and no offense to Nathan, but if you're like a disheveled, fat gay guy, all gay guys are. I'm saying all gay guys are ripped and jacked. So like if you're like a Tim Dillon, and Tim Dillon's talented, and so is Nathan. I'm saying they're like the Secret Weapon. These other gay guys are like, man, this guy's so gay and confident he can be fat. I would never know what that's like as a gay man. I have to be super skinny and basically have an eating.
I've seen it. I know for the longest I thought Lil Nas X was playing games. I didn't think he was gay for real. I thought he was being gay for the fame, and just because.
I thought that at first too, and they said he was gay. I was like, is he faking it? But then
he started to
do some gay
stuff. Do some overly. He's like, okay, I heard people talking mess. Let me go ahead and pull the real gay out. And I don't want to do that to Nathan. I don't want to force him until he has to do extra gay stuff just to prove
that's how it works.
That he's not doing it for Hollywood.
No. I know that's a weird situation to put him in, but he does need to kiss a guy in front of me, or else I'm never going to believe it. That's gay. That's gay of me wanting to do that. But I just want the cold hard facts. It's not about my.
He's got to grab a guy by the pussy.
He's got to grab a guy by the dick. He's got to grab a dick, and I got to see him grab a dick, and he's got to like not just kind of grab it. He's got to like really shake its hand, shake the dick.
Got to twist.
Yeah,
grabbing the twist.
Maybe a little bit. But speaking of grabbing and twisting. What is your opinion of OnlyFans superstar Bonnie Blue?
I don't know who that is. Is she a female?
You know who Bonnie Blue is. She's the one that she banged 1,000 guys in one sitting.
I heard of that situation.
Once again, and I hate to do this, Q. You're probably raised Christian, black guy, Well, I'm black. Well, actually, I was raised Christian. Have you ever heard of Bonnie Blue? Never heard of her. Oh, she's the girl that banged 1,000 guys. You're like, oh, actually, I have heard of that. So I mean,
what is that like? Why do
you have heard of Bonnie Blue?
I heard of the story.
Okay, so you have heard of her.
Yeah, I don't know the name.
That's all I'm saying. So you lied.
I lied.
You're on my show.
I didn't know who her.
You got caught lying, and this is a court of law, and you're going to jail for perjury.
Who the hell? See, this thing, I get pussy, bro. There's no need for me.
Prove it.
To go
prove
on.
It.
You want me to prove it?
Yeah.
I can show you. Okay.
Show it.
I'll show you.
I want to see it. I want to see it. Don't show the camera. Just show
I won't show the camera, bro. I won't show the camera. I'll show me.
But viral sensation Bonnie Blue is she's in hot water because she says that Bonnie Blue demands. Look at this though, real quick, before you show me all that punani on your.
It was great. Punani all in this.
Oh damn! And that's an iPhone. Oh shit! You're a damn doggy style. Oh man. Okay, yeah. Q Rose hits it. Damn, he hits it. Okay, done. That's enough. Oh my God, Q.
What are we talking about, dog?
Q's like
OnlyFans. I am OnlyFans. Look.
Q's kissing my. I mean, damn, dude, you're really kissing in that video. I'm not kidding. He showed me a video. They're naked. It was actually a very good video. But Bonnie Blue is in hot water because she said, put that up again. She said, Jimmy, you read it.
Bonnie Blue demands UK, quote, stop the boats as she, quote, won't bonk illegal migrants. Britain's most infamous adult star has issued a stark message to Keir Starmer. Stop the boats, as she called the UK miserable and not a place where she would bring kids into. That's weird. She decided to talk about kids and.
Well, I think that's a very American thing that she's doing, man. She's doing her part.
She is.
That's the only thing that she could do, and she's doing her part. She won't bonk the illegal immigrant.
I love it. I call it passport pussy. If you don't have a passport, you're not going to get any of this pussy, and I respect that. You know what I mean? We don't want just some illegal immigrant coming off a boat getting some free punani. No, if you want this punani, you need a passport. And Bonnie, I really appreciate you being.
All you need is a green card and $75, and you can bonk Bonnie Blue.
Well, I don't know. Would she do a green card, Jimmy? I thought if they're not a legal citizen, I don't know.
They're not. If you got a green card, you're not illegally over here then.
Well, I don't know, but she's in the UK, but I don't know how their immigration works. But I mean, I guess, yeah, if she had a green card, she probably would let that slide. But if you're totally illegal, like fresh off the boat and you don't even have that green card, do not expect any of that P
She's
card.
full of shit with her selective morality. You'll suck 1,000 cocks at once, but you won't fuck a Mexican. What's wrong with you, lady? Like, y'all can be fans of this lady, bro. But to me, that I don't know where her moral stick is, bro. It's obviously up her ass, because I have no clue what that means.
She loves to stick things up there. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
She might hide it. Now, I tend to side with Bonnie though still, because at least she has some morals when it comes to it. Like at least she's not just totally letting anybody hit it. So it gives me a little, even though I don't respect her at all because she's like a filthy, dirty street whore.
So wait.
At least she has a little bit of self-respect.
So you're saying that? So okay. So how well do you think she got a chance to screen 1,000 guys?
I don't know. Probably not that well.
Like 1,000 guys didn't cross the border today.
Well,
what are you talking about?
I think how it works, and I could be wrong. I think you have to like fill out some form. I've heard this. I haven't filled out that form. Oh wow, you filled out that form. You signed up. You go online and you sign up, and there's a website, and you give them your information. I think your latest STD test and stuff like that. I think
that's my problem with the world nowadays. Why are we taking morality advice from a fucking prostitute? Where have we gotten to today in America where that's what the fuck we do? We give a fuck what Bonnie Blue thinks? Man, fuck Bonnie Blue. And it's not even, I don't know who she is, bro.
You could fuck her if you wanted. She lets you do that.
Yeah, I'm here legally. So that's all it takes.
You're okay. Yeah, I'm saying you'd be fine.
It seems to me that's all it takes to have sex with Bonnie Blue. Now, like again, she might be a nice lady, bro. I don't even know if that's a real statistic or whatever, but to me, I'm confused morally on where she stands. I don't know is that a Christian value? I'll fuck 1,000 guys but no Mexicans. Like I don't know who she's representing or what she's standing for.
Well, it's like, I look at it like this, is like the mafia, like in the mafia, the old Italian mob, like La Cosa Nostra. Even if you had like a hit on somebody, you're supposed to go assassinate somebody, if they're with their kids or wife, you weren't supposed to do it. Unless it was like a certain circumstance where the kids and wife were fair game, which that does happen in the mafia. So like, even though they're doing something morally repugnant by assassinating somebody, there's still weird rules to it. Like, don't kill the kids. Like, don't bang the illegals.
Wait. So the weird rule to you is not killing the kids?
What I'm saying is, I think it's weird that you're an evil person. You're like, oh, I'll kill you, but morally, I'm okay because I'm not going to kill the kids. You see?
Okay. I get what you're saying.
I'm saying like they're an assassin. They're going to go kill the guy, but if their kids are like, oh, I'm not going to. They'll still kill the guy, but they don't kill the kids. So I'm like,
I got you. But level wise, do you think it's more? You think it's more moral to not kill the kids than it is to kill grown-ups?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just confused on how is it more moral to fuck 1,000 guys over fucking a Mexican? To me,
the illegal immigrants don't feed into the tax system and don't.
Listen, I have a daughter. I have a daughter, bro. I find out she fuck a Mexican. I'm like, oh man, it is what it is. It's a Mexican. I find out she fuck 1,000 legal citizens, bro. I'm gonna build a wall in front of my front yard. Like, what are we talking about?
It's called the chastity belt. They have those where you can block the daughter's vaginal area.
That don't make no sense. You can try to make sense if you want to. It only makes sense to I guess a super leftist, like super Republican person. Like, yeah, that lady, she has a good head on her shoulders. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
That's what we're talking about. She's got a great head, literally. She's really good at it. Now, I want to ask you, we got really spiritual today, and I want to kind of end on a spiritual thing.
Unexpectedly.
Well, and no, that's actually every show. It's a very religious show, believe it or not, and it's a children's show at the same time. Donald Trump recently said in a statement that he is unsure of whether or not he will go into heaven. Now, I want to play, do we have this saw? Let's play the saw.
You had talked a couple weeks ago, you were doing an interview, and you talked about how you hope to end the war in Ukraine because it might help you get into heaven. How does this help? Does this help?
I mean, I'm being a little cute. I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven, okay? I really don't. I think I'm not maybe heaven bound. I may be in heaven right now as we fly in Air Force One. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make heaven.
Now, I know that was a bold statement, but I
Holy
respect
shit,
that.
dog.
I respect that because Donald Trump hangs out with all these Christians that are really strong Christians, and he's like, listen, I'm not going to go pretend like I'm getting into heaven VIP, even though Donald Trump knows he's getting in VIP because he's done all the Jewish magic stuff to get in. But he's gonna get in, and
That sounds like
humble. It sounds humble.
It sounds like a man that's seen something that we haven't seen.
And he has.
And he knows something we don't know.
And he
It
does.
seems like a man who knows for certain that that he's going to hell. He sounds like a man who knows hell's a thing and he's already punched his ticket. That's what that sounds like.
Or could the conspiracy be that the monad is real and that he wants to go to hell because hell is the real heaven?
Where the fuck is the father at? Like, bring Calvin back on.
Oh, no, Calvin's going to get pissed
Like,
off. Well,
what
we're
is
just talking
this?
about conspiracies. Okay, but no, I think Donald Trump will get into heaven. I think he's going to be in a gold area. Heaven is lined, the streets are lined with gold, so I don't know a better place for Donald Trump to fit in than heaven. So, President Trump, don't worry. I'll do whatever I can to make sure that you get in there. I'm going to keep praying for you. Now, before we end the show, what is SOT number 3, Jimmy?
Something we found that it's going viral. You want to
Okay,
play it?
this is a guy that's just supposedly got rejected by his own wife, and I know Q never gets rejected. He showed me some stuff on his phone. There's no rejection there. All acceptance. All acceptance. Okay, let's play this clip.
Hey, do you want to go upstairs and play chess?
I'm so tired. Not tonight.
Okay.
It's just the phase of life we're in.
Honestly, when you say that, what I hear is that we're not going to play chess for 3 years.
I could live without it.
Great, that makes me feel really good.
Babe, don't take it personally.
I feel at a loss. I'm trying to be the best partner that I can be and take some of the mental load and give you space so that you can rest. And honestly, I would want to do that regardless of intimacy. But when you still say that you're tired, it starts to feel personal and I don't know what to do.
You've been feeling unwanted.
Yeah, I do.
I haven't been showing you how much you mean to me and that I'm still in love with you.
I appreciate that our priorities have shifted and I would still love to get back to date nights and having more us time.
I can get on board. Thank you for being honest, and I'm really sorry I was so quick to dismiss it before. I love you, and I do want to work on this.
I love you too, and I want to be close to you.
Jimmy, I told you to stop posting relationship TikToks. Why are you still
sorry.
posting this cringe like this?
I just want the world to know that I'm having issues and I need help.
Man, that sounds awful, bro.
Yeah, Q, what's your secret?
Shit. I would.
What is your secret?
What secret to not?
Gatekeeping. Tell us your secret.
All right. The secret is to not accept no.
Well, that is a good secret.
What's the whole adage, bro? What's the whole adage? She was like, not like old Corey Holcomb. Not what is it? None from me tonight. No, like none from you tonight. None from you tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Corey Holcomb.
None for you tonight. No, none from you tonight. Like the thing is, that lady right there has too much power in the situation. For him, it's either she says yes or he gets no coochie. That's a terrible position to be in.
I know. I agree.
That's a terrible position to be in. You can't have your woman thinking that if you don't get your balls drained right now, that you won't get your balls drained somewhere else. There's no other secret but that.
I love
That's
it.
the
Emotional
only thing.
manipulation. That's great. It works great. And I would never know what that problem is. I have women that throw themselves at me constantly online, so I wouldn't know what it's like to be rejected.
See? So you get pussy at the house, right? Because your wife knows that if you don't get no pussy here, there's women throwing themselves at you. And not that you're gonna do it, but
Nope,
if ever
I would never do that.
But if ever she made you, she don't want to put you in a position where you're weak enough to take some bait that you shouldn't take. If you hungry, you gonna eat, dog.
That's true. You said it best. If you're hungry, you're going to eat. I couldn't have said it any better. Okay, before we go, Q, how can people find you and support you and see you at your next battle?
You can find me at all socials, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Q Rose Comedy. And you can find my special at YouTube, Q Rose Comedy. It's called You Know What I'm Saying. If you want to catch my next battle, just follow DFW Roast Battle League, and you'll see me, fighting for the championship next month. So.
And it's going to be a barn burner. We want to see you guys out there. So if you're in the Dallas area, Make sure to hit up Q Rose on Instagram. Go follow him. And we want to see you guys in the building for that roast battle. I think we probably need to cover it or something. It's next month. We'll figure out. I need to go there to it. With all that being said,
I'd love to have you on the panel, man.
Yeah, well, maybe. Jimmy, is there anything we're forgetting for tomorrow night? We got a great show tomorrow night.
We got Reese in studio.
We got Reese and potentially Richie Man and potentially an Indian guy is going to come on named Deepak, and he's going to sing.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be Indian halal music. Are you okay with halal music?
Am I okay with halal? I don't know what that is. I just started eating halal food like 2 months ago.
You've been getting a lot of diarrhea?
The fuck?
Well, if you just started eating it, your body's probably not used to it. You have to get used to it. You know, that's the one thing with ethnic food. You do have to get, tolerance.
That's that pasty. That I don't eat like the paste or whatever.
See, I like it when an Indian guy puts a pita right in his armpit. I love it. Armpit pita. That's what I call it. I call it an arm pita. It's good. All right, guys, we end the show the same way every time with that freestyle finale. DJ, hit that beat. Put the wall up. Is the wall up? I need the wall. I can't ball without the wall. Israel, I love you. Where's my wall? Yo, yo, yo. This wall is my life. I would make this wall my wife. I love everything about Israel. You need to chill. Hitler was a bad guy. Nick Fuentes always says a lie. Don't believe what he says. If you don't kiss this wall, you'll be dead. So kiss it. Hump it too. I don't give a damn what you do. Make love to the wall. Then you can hang out with your friend Paul. Kiss the wall. Hump the wall. Knock the wall. Bang the wall. The wall is all. All is the wall. I love the wall. I love the wall. This is
crazy
cute.
as hell.
No, this is it. I love the wall. I love being Jewish. I love Mike Huckabee. I don't give a damn about history. All right, guys. I'm Prime Time 99 Alex Stein. I love you. And I hope all the Palestinians in Hamas get tortured. Peace.